Hey guys, Chad here with the Reptile Rangers. Now we're at the Kernersville Reptile Zoo and Medical Center again today, and we are going to talk about monitor diets. Check this out. Absolutely love monitors. It's a little Nile monitor. Now, there's Nile monitors, water monitors, savanna monitors, croc monitors, Asian tree monitors, green tree monitors, the list goes on and on. Black throat, white throat, peach throat. Those are really pretty. But these guys right here, absolutely awesome, amazing animals. But there's a lot of variations of, oh, you should eat this, or they should eat this, or they should only eat this so much and that so much and the other so much. And there's so much stupid information and so much ignorance out there. We were asked to do a episode on monitor diets. Now, in general rule of thumb, there is no real full right or wrong when it comes to the meaty products, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But let's just keep this simple. We'll keep it short, sweet, and to the point, and just kind of give an overview of what these guys would typically eat. Now, in the case of a little guy like this, like my little Nile monitor that I'm holding here, he would be almost completely insectivorous, all right, as a youngster. Anything from crickets to worms to roly-poly bugs, the pill bugs, which is called isopods, to even things like moths and lightning bugs, and there's all different kinds of things they would eat. Flies, dragonflies, but again, they're almost completely insectivorous, even spiders, things like that. Now, as babies, these guys typically tend to not eat too much meat because most of the meat that they would have access to is going to be too big for them. Now, in captivity, let's go over in captivity. Like for this little guy right here, we've already got him on whole prey. It's not live. We do frozen thawed rat pinkies, okay? Now remember, mice, absolute garbage. Mice is just essentially just trash food. They're all tendons and bones. There's nothing really nutritional to them. Rabbits and ASFs, or the African soft furs, gerbils, hamsters. They're much more nutritional than what mice are. Now, again, like I said, with this little guy right here and with the other little guys that we have, we're already feeding these guys frozen thawed rat pinkies. And if they'll go ahead and start taking the whole prey, then we'll get them off of bugs as quick as we can. Bugs are good to get them started, but it's not very good for them. Think about the exoskeletons. There's parasitic organisms that things like crickets can carry. And remember, inside of captivity, that is one of the biggest killers of these pets, is the captivity part of the diet of the captivity, because a lot of people want to just feed these babies just crickets. Okay, yeah, they like chasing crickets around. But the problem is crickets are no nutrition. They're trash food like mice. They go around re-ingesting their own feces, so it causes tapeworms and pinworms and other such things inside of these guys. Remember, they also crap and pee like mice and rats almost every few steps. So there's not really any gut load in them to make them fatter, unless they just ate something and you throw the crickets in and they can take it, and then they'll just get whatever was there. But again, if you can avoid the crickets, superworms are great for them. Dubia roaches, small hissing roaches, horn worms, wax worms, butter worms, phoenix worms, all kinds of different things like that work great for these little insectivorous guys. Fruit flies. Crap loads of flightless fruit flies when they're come first out of the egg, works really well. Bot flies is another good one. Those are really good. They're smaller. So again, with that being said, our main thing is that as soon as we can get them off of insects, and as soon as they start eating the meat products, we don't feed them insects again. Some of the things that we've heard is, they need X amount of percentage of diet of insects, and then X amount of percentage of small amount of meat and all this other stuff. And it's like, people need to stop with the stupidity. They're insectivorous as babies. They're carnivorous, almost strictly carnivorous as adults, okay? So again, babies, insectivorous, but as soon as you can get these things to start taking the meat products, we go ahead and start getting them off of the insectivorous diet. Generally speaking, we'll feed them 3 times a week, because understand, monitors and tegus have a high obesity rating, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. As far as what should be done when it comes to crude protein, lean protein, eggs, things like that. But again, the babies, we typically feed them 3 times a week until they become juvenile status, and then once they're juvenile status, we back them down to about twice a week because they're mostly lazy lizards in captivity, and so we don't want them sitting around getting a high fatty deposits inside of their body and causing a shorter lifespan. Sometimes some folks will only feed their monitors once a week, give them a decent meal, and if that works for the monitor, that's okay. Because think about it, in the wild, they don't always eat every single day. Even the Komodo dragon, they may take down a water buffalo, eat their fill, and they may not eat again for a couple of weeks. It may not matter. So again, in captivity, we do things different. We can actually cause lifespans to expand or shorten just based off of what we do as far as a diet goes. Now, that's starting with the babies. Okay, guys, now in the case of larger lizards like my buddy Lucifer here, the Savannah monitor, these guys are going to be almost strictly carnivorous. Now, the reason I say almost is because, every once in a while, if a bug passes them, they may still eat a bug, a spider, something like that. They also may eat eggs. They are known for raiding the nests of other monitor lizards, crocodilian, alligator species, things like that, even in captivity. These guys will eat all kinds of different meats, such as fish and turkey and deer meat and chicken and ground beef. There's all kinds of different things they can eat. Now, again, their diet is going to be based off in the wild where they're actually from. Some of them may eat more things such as the fish, the shrimp and crab and so on and so forth, depending on where they're from. And some may eat more of the fowl, because that may be what's more readily available, and some of them may be more of the whole prey mammalian eaters, such as rats and mice and other such stuff like that, small rabbits, things like that, that may be native to their area. So a lot of the times, diet in the wild is just going to be based off of where they're actually from and what is in their habitat. But in captivity, again, there is no real right or wrong when it comes to meat products, other than the fact of, here's where the science comes in. You need to watch out from crude protein versus lean protein and a lot of crude fat. Eggs is not good as a staple diet, that much we do say, and we do know, because too much of the raw egg is going to have way too much crude protein. You want to stay away from an excessive amounts of things like ground beef. There's more crude protein involved with that, versus like deer meat. Deer meat is lean protein. We tend to do more turkey versus chicken, and we do quite a bit of fish, but you got to be careful on the fish side of things, because there's a lot of protein involved with fish. So again, everything's about balance. We will do the whole prey as well. We'll do like for Lucifer here, he'll get frozen thawed small rats as almost more of a staple diet, and then he'll get some meat products as well. So again, it really does base off of what you have available and what they would eat in the wild. But once they're in captivity, you don't want to feed one certain thing, and that's the biggest hiccup that most people run into, is they tend to stay with one thing specifically. Okay, they feed whatever works, and just because it works doesn't mean it's always right. But a lot of this foolishness of it needs to be 25% protein or meat products. It needs to be 75% insects, and it needs to be 3% of a bunch of nonsense. I mean, just all that stupidity is not necessary. Again, these guys are insectivorous as babies. They are carnivorous as adults. It's not complicated to understand. It's very easy to understand. But again, you can feed too much. Too many days of the week can be too much, cause a high obesity rating, and the wrong stuff too often can cause the high obesity rating as well. The wrong stuff, not enough, and of course they're going to be underweight. And again, remember also the things that help with these guys. A lot of your whole prey items have the skeletal system, and skeletal system also helps with the vitamins and the calcium and the nutritional content, things that they need when it comes to calcium and VD3 for the bone structure, to prevent from MBD and so on and so forth. So again, this is monitor lizards and the diet of monitor lizards, and kind of how to feed them, what to feed them, and what they eat, not only in the wild but also in captivity. Now, we appreciate you joining us. week after week. We enjoy having you come along with us. This is Chad with the Reptile Rangers here at the Kernersville Reptile Zoo. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to hit the like button. Hit the bell for notifications. Make sure to follow along. We're getting real close to that 1,000 subscriber mark. And we're going to put up just a little funny episode of bloopers, fails, all kinds of different things just goofiness of us and some of the folks here at the zoo and medical center. Make sure to write us in. Remember, YouTube does not notify us of our comments, so if you have a comment, feel free to leave it. Just know we'll get to it as soon as we know that it's there. If you have anything that needs our immediate attention, medical attention, questions about your animal, whether from medical issues to habitat to feeding to whatever the case may be, feel free to get with us in the information below. The cell phone number, or the number, is a cell phone. It can also receive text messages as well. And anytime you need anything that it requires more of our attention, feel free to get with us that way or at the zoo at any time. Now, again, this is Chad. We appreciate you coming along with us. We'll either see you here at the zoo or we'll see you on the next episode. Later.